Hiya, BookTube. Bill Ruttenberg here with the Ruttenberg Library. Come to you today with my 2021 TBR. Happy New Year, by the way. As you can see, I've got some big plans for this year, but I hope I can get them done. Anyway, I wanted to share with you the books that I have kind of selected to be the ones that I definitely want to get read. I picked, just like last year, 12 months in the year, so I did 12 books, one per month if I can, kind of keep to that. If it's anything like last year, it'll never happen. So I guess maybe I should start this off with, first and foremost, I am going to be really working on trying to knock out my 2020 TBR lists. All of those lists that I made that I never got done, which was almost all of them, I'm going to be working to knock those out. And so if you start to see 2020 TBR, wrap-ups, don't be surprised because I'm dead set on getting those done. That's something I really want to do. I hate making goals and then not achieving them. That really irritates me. So anyway, I'm going to be working to knock those out, and my nonfiction November one is almost done. I am at the end of that book. Matter of fact, when I get done here, I'm going to go try to finish that book. And then I will give you my nonfiction November wrap-up. Better late than never, right? So anyway, here are my reading goals for 2021. This is my TBR list. My first one that I'm going to start off with, I actually do not have the book yet. It's going to be in about 2 weeks. And it is by David Blight, and it is Frederick Douglass, Prophet of Freedom. And I'm real excited about that book. I've wanted it ever since it came out. I've listened to David Blight on iTunes University, and I really love listening to him. He's very entertaining. And so when I heard that that book was coming out, super excited, ended up buying it with my Christmas money, and it is on my 2021 list. So now let me get to all the stuff in my lap here, the other 11 books. So recently, towards the end of the year, or for my birthday, I think is actually when I got the money to do it, was I am going to read Ordeal of the Union, Volume 1, and it is books 1 and 2, Fruits of Manifest Destiny, 1847 to 1852, and A House Dividing, 1852 to 1857, by Allan Nevins. Sorry about the glare, it's still in the plastic, haven't taken it out yet. Super excited about this. This is going to be dealing with the first parts of the antebellum period, that build up to Civil War, my favorite time period to read about. So I had many of you at the beginning of 2020 that recommended that I read this set. Everybody had asked me, so have you read that? Have you read that? I'm like, no, it's on my list. Well, I ended up buying them, and now not only is it on my list, it's no longer on my to-buy list, it's on my to-read list, and I am going to get that started so I can get it knocked out. All right, so that's one book. Actually, 2 books. So the next one on my list is, I got a couple of John Meacham biographies that I want to get read. And the first one here is Thomas Jefferson, The Art of Power. Been real excited to read this ever since I was able to pick it up. Meacham is an excellent author, and just real excited about this. I haven't read anything on Jefferson for a while, so I'm super excited to read that. Next one in the pile here is American Colonies by Allan Taylor. And real excited about that. I love the beginnings of our nation, and so that should be real entertaining. That is on a ton of bibliographies in the back of books, and so it should be good. Here's a work of fiction that I wanted to pick up, and it is a chunky monkey, pretty heavy. Ken Follett's Fall of Giants. This is book 1 of the Century Trilogy. Ever since I saw this in Walmart and Target when it was on the shelves, I wanted to get it, and I found it dirt cheap and went ahead, spent some money, and got it, and now I want to get it started and see if I actually like it. Was it a good buy? That becomes the question. All right, the next one in the pile here is another John Meacham, the other John Meacham in my pile. American Lion, Andrew Jackson in the White House. I have read books on Andrew Jackson before. I have not read one in a while. and I look forward to going back to that time period because he was an interesting fella. Next one on the list, or in the pile here, is The Great Alone by Kristin Hannah. And I have actually started this, and it was originally my goal to try to get it done before Christmas break was over. Don't know that that's going to happen, but it will happen pretty soon, within a couple weeks of Christmas being done. I should have this done. And it's good. It's about a family who moves up to Alaska. They've got some major issues, and they think Alaska is going to fix it. And Alaska's a rough place to live. A lot of darkness. So anyway, next one on the list is one of my Christmas gifts this year, and it's The Loyal Son, The War in Ben Franklin's House by Daniel Epstein. And looking forward to that. It's all about the relationship of Ben Franklin and his son. Should be really good. Next book on the list, Joseph Ellis's American Dialogue, The Founders and Us. And basically, Joseph Ellis takes some stuff from the founding era, compares it to nowadays. Really looking forward to it. It's going to deal with Washington, let's see here, Jefferson and racism, John Adams and economic inequality, James Madison and constitutional law, and George Washington and foreign policy. And so it's going to be dealing with a lot of stuff, a lot of issues then that are still issues today. And pretty pumped about that. Next book on the list of things that I want to get read is The Civil War, A Narrative, Fort Sumter to Perryville by Shelby Foote. Now this is the ever famous Shelby Foote in his trilogy. I have all three of them. You can see them right back here on the shelf. There's the other two. This is book one, and as you can see, that's a big book. I'm really looking forward to this one. I'm going to be doing this one as a buddy read here in a couple months, and so that one should be a lot of fun. Shelby Foote was a great Southern historian. He, if you've ever watched the Civil War series by Ken Burns, he's one of the historians. His voice is used a lot in that series, and somebody left a comment and was saying that they had troubles reading it without hearing his voice narrating it in their head, and I actually hope that happens in mine because I really love his voice. But great series that I just had not read yet. I think I surprised a few people out there. Steve Donahue, you might be one of them, that I had not read it. And I know it wasn't that long ago that I only had one of the books on my bookshelf, and he asked me in the comments, "Is that a lonely Shelby Foote book? Where's the rest of them?" And lo and behold, right after that, I found the whole series. I'd been looking for 10, 15 years and hadn't found them, and finally found them. So that was kind of cool. Another book that I got fairly recently, The Field of Blood, Violence in Congress and the Road to Civil War by Joanne Freeman. Now, Joanne Freeman, I listened to her on iTunes University, and I am super excited about this book. I love listening to her teaching of early American history, and then, of course, the build-up to the Civil War. And as soon as I found out that she was coming out with this book, I had wanted it. It was on my list, and I finally spent a little bit of money when my birthday came around and got it. And so I'm really excited about this. Should be a fun read, very entertaining. And the last book of the 12 books that I have planned for 2021 on my 2021 TBR list is Wrestling with His Angel, 1849 to 1856, The Political Life of Abraham Lincoln. This is volume 2 in the series by Sidney Blumenthal, and super excited about that. I read book 1 earlier this year, and I enjoyed the book. I think that Blumenthal does a pretty thorough job in his research. Just a good series, and so I was looking forward to reading book 2. And I've got several series that, if there's several books in that series, I try to read one per year, and so this is year 2, and so I'm going to read book 2. So anyway, booktube, thank you for watching. I appreciate all the new subscribers that have come to the channel recently. I hope that I can keep producing content for you that you're going to enjoy in 2021. Feel free to comment on any of the books if you've read them, what you think of them, any recommendations you got for me. I try to listen to those. Can't always promise that I have, that I can buy all of them that you recommend, but I do listen. And if I keep hearing, similar things over and over again, I try to look for those books and put them on my list. So anyway, again, I appreciate all the new subscribers. Hope everyone's having just a great holiday. Hope everybody has had a great new year. And until next time, BookTube, happy reading.